All right, we're back. Judd'z Budz, episode 190, Gretzky plus Tarasenko. That's easy. As usual, your host spoke Z, joined by my good buddy, Mr. At Dave Hobby. How we doing?
I have a voice, so that's good.
What's that like? Hopefully mine hangs on for a little bit here. The weekend was bad. Like, I was dead.
Yeah.
And it was like, I would like get annoyed yawning because like it would just be really weird non-noise that came out of my mouth. Like it was like I would go to yawn. It was like, and like nothing would happen. And I was like, I don't know if I'm dying now, which was weird. But anyways, hopefully it hangs on for a little bit here. I basically didn't speak words all day just because I wanted more than 10 minutes before I completely flatlined here. But how you doing? How was your week? How was your weekend?
We're powering through best we can. Holidays hit a little bit different now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Got to bounce all over. Got to go to both families. Got to handle. I think we've got. Let's see. What's the last count? We've got every significant other in the family. So my wife, my brother's wife, my sister's husband all have birthdays the back half of December. Logan's birthday is after Christmas. So it's just like jam packing not only a bunch of plans, but also like, oh crap, do I have to like buy things? Do I need to check off these boxes? So yeah, like tomorrow or today, probably for anyone listening, is my wife's birthday. Then we've got both family Christmases on Christmas Eve. Then we're going to do Christmas at home by ourselves, but then a couple of people might come over later in the day. And then pretty much Friday through Sunday is stuff for the little guy's second birthday. So that's my week. This is my break.
Yeah, sweet break. Yeah. Christmas for our family is it is a couple hours, and it's just me and my brothers and then my parents, and that's it. We like the Thanksgiving's the big one we do with my dad's side of the family. Christmas with my mom's side of the family, which is like the non-functional side, so we don't really get together anyways anymore. I've said this, I don't know if I'm assuming I've told you this before, but I mean, like, again, mom's side is the very very Boston, very toxic. Like, for me it's funny because I don't get involved in the toxicity of it all. Like, it's just they're just constantly going at it. But like, one of the funniest outbursts of all time, I think I was in like 7th grade. We're at my aunt's old house, and my uncle, out of nowhere, is sitting on the couch, and like nothing is happening. Just stands up, just goes, "You know what? Fuck all of you," and stormed out and didn't talk to anyone for like 4 years. And we were like, "What the fuck happened?" What the fuck was that?
Is that like? Do you call that a Bostonian goodbye? Like, is it the opposite of an Irish goodbye?
Well, no, we eventually found out that he was actually he was mad about, I guess, mostly at my parents, but then also like when they found out why he was mad, they're like, "Oh, we like, yes, we got like our bad, whatever." It was also very funny because it was like all the like nieces, nephews, all the like everyone plans out who's getting who a gift for Christmas, or we used to do that. And like, I think his daughter got one less present than she was supposed to. And it was us that didn't get it. But then like immediately once my parents found out, they like, whatever, apologized. And then he didn't care anymore, but he used to like, I still fucking hate everyone else though. So he only talked to like me and my parents for like 4 years. It was insane. But it was just the fact that it was out of nowhere. Hadn't really been any fighting going on, and he was like, "Nah, let me ruin that real quick, and I'm gonna fucking hold this grudge for a long time."
Holy shit! It is Daniil Yurov's golden birthday per Elliot 701. Turned 22 today on the 22nd. DJ, I've told you about my golden birthday before, right? The bourbon stuff. So
no.
So my golden birthday is when I turned 30, and like that's when just all like there's nothing to look forward to for the past 3 birthdays before that, but still like there's nothing. Birthdays are birthdays. But that one, we were gonna, for that reason, because people think that matters. I really don't. It happened to align with being like the same week of Kentucky Derby. So we were gonna go out and do the Derby. We were gonna do like the full bourbon trail, like hit up a bunch of the different distilleries out in Kentucky. And a month and a half earlier, the world shut down for COVID. So that didn't happen. But we were in this weird bubble where we had kind of set up shop in our neighborhood in Richfield, where I had 3 of my really good buddies all lived within like 3 blocks of me, and my sister and her now husband, then boyfriend, lived like in the same distance. And she got together with all of them and basically turned each of their houses into a distillery. And we went around and still did the full bourbon tour. And then, have you ever like played the dice horse racing game?
The what?
The dice horse racing game, where like if you roll a 3, the 3 horse moves a peg, and like
okay, yeah,
you go 3 pegs, where there's the like 7 horse has to go like 10 pegs because of the odds. She made a version of that, but it was with a bunch of farm animals and called it like Hick Midwest Derby. So we actually did horse racing. We actually did all of the Bourbon Trail stuff. It was kind of badass.
I was going to say that still ended up being electric.
I'm sure Danila's is going a lot crazier, though.
Is he still living in a hotel?
He's probably just a Billy Sushi. Well, we got a couple of comments in here already, but before we jump into it, and anyone, if you have questions, whether it's on Wild Prospects, the Wild team as a whole, World Juniors, throw them in the chat. I'm going to do my best to survey. Mateo had something more important to jump to, and that's not me being cheeky. He actually did. So I will do my best to monitor the comments, and we will definitely hit on the big things that you guys want us to talk about. But Z, you had more important things to do last week. That's a little bit more cheeky. What, I mean, you've had more time to digest it. Quinn Hughes to Minnesota. Pretty fun, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I think at first when you see like the actual, well, first of all, you see Hughes to Minnesota, like, wait, what the fuck? This wasn't. I was like at my buddy's house. I was just sitting there looking at my phone, like, you don't know anything about hockey, but did you know about this? Did you hear about that? He was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
This is like the best freeze frame ever. For a second, I thought that he was just holding that, and now I realize that he's definitely just gone. There you are. It was you were like, and I was like, and then it just stopped.
Oh,
perfect.
I was gonna say because that's fine for me, but anyways, first of all, just seeing Houston, Minnesota was just jarring. And then you see, I think at first you look at like the return and you get like the sticker shock. And then you, as time goes on, like you're getting the second best defenseman in the world. I think no matter what that package is, you probably make that deal 10-7-10. And I mean, when you look at how many areas of need, just bring in someone like Quinn Hughes, like what that addresses. Like, I mean, they were getting essentially 0 scoring from their back end. Like, obviously, Z William, he's like continuing to grow to the NHL and everything. But that also just gives you a guy that from the back end is putting up like 80, 70, 80, 90 points the last few years. So, I mean, even just beyond score for the back end, it was just like you got yourself some depth scoring who just happens to be a defenseman. And I mean, I think weirdly enough, like the one that the part that's gonna hurt somewhat immediately the most is the Marco Rossi part of this all. Like, I mean, you just look at like the depth down the middle / just like the forwards and try to figure like map out exactly what you want the lines to look like, which I think is worth talking about here a little bit. Like in the immediate aftermath, the area where it just like kind of throws a wrench into like what the lineup looks like is that Marco Rossi. The long term, obviously, it's someone like Z William. But I mean, it's funny enough. Just like I think it was the last week that I was on here before the Hughes trade, we were like discussing some of the old rumors about like what the Rossi trade was going to like look like, and we were like, it would have sucked if it was part of like a Kiefer Sherwood trade, or like I think before like in the summer there was talk with like the Flyers with like Tyson Forrest or whatever. And I was like, man, if you're dealing with Marco Rossi, hopefully it's I mean, I don't really know. Like, you have to hope it's like a huge piece. It was like, oh, holy shit. Okay, so that ended up happening. And then obviously, you know, it was just like kind of crazy to see there was him, Booyam, who was probably the one guy that we all would have put in the untouchable category until the Quinn Hughes comes up in discussion. Then it's a completely different conversation.
Untouchable. Like, we've had this conversation before.
Right.
Like we've said, no one is untouchable. Now, everyone has a very firm price that must be reached, but like you say, Kirill Kaprizov's untouchable. Okay, Edmonton wants to trade him for McDavid.
Right.
It's not tradable anymore. Like,
yeah,
there is a price out there for everyone, and the same thing goes for, because I still firmly believe, I don't know, you just said we want to get into the line construction. This team is a top 6 center away from being a firm contender. Agree or disagree?
Probably. That's actually like where I was going next to, is like when you look at the line construction right now, and I think the last 2 games they've all been healthy, right? I think I don't think anyone else is injured again. Other than like Bogosian in the back end. But like as far as the forwards go, like I mean, we've seen Yurov step up since Ross's departure and play 1C, and there's been a lot of good. He's continuing to grow. He looks better week after week. They've I think they start the game, I want to say they threw Hartman up there against Colorado, but I mean I feel like a lot of that too is just the fact that they played 7 games in 11 days or whatever. But like when you look at those 3 games where Tarasenko just started producing, you kind of have to like wonder about, do you put him in like a more optimal situation, like in your top 6? I don't know. Like, I think that's where I come back to, because like I think you can build a complete line. Like,
that line has been really effective. If that's your third line, you're in business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've already, the second line is well established, and the first line is basically who plays center between Kaprizov and Zuccarello. And for me, like, I've gotten a lot of backlash. People are like acting like I'm talking shit about Danila Yurov when it's been everything but that. Like, I'm thrilled with the progress he's made. I think long term he can absolutely be that kind of guy. You're telling me you go into a playoff series against Dallas or Colorado that you're excited about him being your 1C first playoff experience he's ever had? No, I'm not. Can he do it? Maybe. Am I going to sit here and bank on that if this is the year that you feel like the team is going to have their best chance to push for a cup? I'm not going to feel super comfortable. Again, I'm prepared to be proven wrong, and I'd love to be, but I don't want it to get to the point that you have to prove me right or wrong. I want to find someone else, because I think Danila Yurov as a 3C for this playoff run is better for him. It's better for the depth of the team. And again, you need someone who's a little bit more battle tested.
Right. Yeah, I was like going through it. Like, I've just tried to like put together as many different combinations as I could today. Like, and I got to the point where I started really playing.
I got one.
Well, no, it was just like the one that intrigued me the most. That's somewhat different than something we've seen, but it's like interesting to be like, would be cool to see. And they've actually pretty much done versions of this recently. But like, let's say you load up the Russians on that first line with Kaprizov, Yurov, Tarasenko, and then you fuck around with things a little bit. Boldy, Eriksson, Zuccarello. Third line of Johansson, Hartman, Hiddlestroza. That's the one where like I have no idea what the fuck you're getting out of that line, but I mean, I don't know. Hiddlestroza and fucking Hartman are friends. It's like, maybe that's cool. And then just that fucking meat fourth line of Shredded, Sturm, and Foligno fascinates me. I don't actually think
I'm not opposed to that.
Insane though.
Here's my thing, because here's my argument that I've been having with people online. I've talked about it on the podcasts too. A lot of mention has been made of the Wild need a top 6 forward, and I don't agree. I think getting a wing is the last thing that the Wild should be doing. Again, unless it's a holy fuck, this is next level kind of guy. Like, shit, David Pastrnak, not happening. But like, if he's all of a sudden on the table, it's like, okay, I'll take a wing. But like, I feel like right now your top 6 wings are pretty well set. Zuccarello and Kaprizov play well together. They're both going to be happier being together. You just need a center to plot between them. That second line of Ek, Boldy, Johansson, I don't know why you fuck around and break that up. Now, I'm okay like tinkering and trying things like you mentioned, but I think that that's been a super effective line. And I feel like Johansson or Zuccarello, if you bump either of them down off of where they currently are, you are losing almost as much as you're gaining by replacing them, right? Like you can't just take Zuccarello and how he's playing with Kaprizov, drop him down to the third line and be like, he's going to be playing this well. Johansson playing with Ek and Boldy. Like I'm not convinced that transfers as well as you might see with other players. Like I think Boldy dropping to a different line. Yeah. Boldy's still Boldy. Kaprizov to a different line. Kaprizov still Kaprizov. But those two guys, I feel like they're kind of leeching off of the lines they're on, which is not a bad thing. It's just to say that if you bump them down the lineup, you're not really getting the net gain that you think you are.
Right.
But am I down to mess around and try it for some regular season games? Sure. Like figure out what you have and what your options are going into the postseason so that you know, hey, what do we need to make sure we bring in before the deadline? But like for me, it's basically going to be a thought experiment the rest of this year of what centers are out there that are reasonably attainable, and do we even have remotely the assets needed to pony up and try and get them? Like Elliot asks, what assets do you guys think it would take to get a Kadri or a Ryan O'Reilly or whoever do you think the Wild have them? I don't know if we do anymore, but I'm telling you, if we want someone real, and the only real name out there on the market right now is probably Tage Thompson, right? Like a true like 1C like that you're excited about? Or is there anyone else that you're thinking of?
I mean, like it's tough right now still because I mean like especially I mean even I think the East is I mean it's all over the place. I think it's literally I have no idea what 8 teams. Right. Like it's crazy how many teams are in contention. Like Buffalo just played themselves into contention for the playoff spot, and I don't think Jarmo Kekalainen is going to come in and immediately trade Tage Thompson, anyways.
No, he'll do the opposite. He'll be the one that goes out and gets a Quinn Hughes when everyone's like, "What are you doing, Jarmo?" Right.
Here's the thing. Like I mean, I think they're going to be fascinating to watch down the stretch here, just given that like they're healthy again. Specifically, like Doan, Benson. And Norris, like, I mean, we'll see. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen with that fucking team? I think they may have just jinxed themselves when they finally had one day where they could clap back at someone on Twitter, and they did it against the Devils. They're like, oh, well, now you're going to lose every fucking game the rest of the year. You're going to finish at 32nd out of 32. But that'll be an interesting team.
For like 7 years, man. They've been able to
seven. They've been fucking. But I mean, like,
and that's not to say that Tage Thompson is the guy. I'm more saying, like, is there anyone else out there that might be available that's a true 1C in your mind? Because he's the only one that I'm thinking of right now.
Well, yeah. I mean, they brought up Ryan O'Reilly too. I'd be interested in Ryan O'Reilly. I think you've already. Well, I think. Well, here's the thing. Like, I think. Would you feel comfortable putting him in as a top 6 center on this team? I would like. I think that would be completely fine.
No.
It's not going to have to be a guy that's going to be driving the line. Yeah, and he's also just like such a good. He's still so good 2-way.
I would be happy getting him. I'm saying like
I just don't know if you have the assets anymore. I don't think they're going to trade him because they just played themselves into contention now too.
Yeah, which is bizarre. Which of course, like every year they've got some weird catalyst. First, it's they cancel the concert. Now. Apparently, Nick Saban is the catalyst for this, which you'd think
they had the presser today, and I was just sitting there like.
It is weird though, because like Nashville, their whole bit with like Preds in the community, you'd think instead of going for an Alabama guy, they'd go for like an old Penn State guy or something. But then maybe they're stepping on Terry Pegula's toes. Who knows what's going on? I don't know. Jesus. Dude, I love that. Freaking Spit and Chicklets had Guy Gadowski on, and they like asked him like, so like, do you think that Terry's like paying too much attention to you guys and kind of ignoring the Sabres? He's like, I'm not gonna fucking answer that question. Get out of here. It's great. But so to your point, like O'Reilly, yes, I think he works. And if Nashville falls back out of favor, I do think that he would be attainable. My point was, if there's no other like true 1Cs a la Tage Thompson out there, that's the only guy where I'm considering putting Danila Yurov into a package. And people have gotten mad about that too. Like, how could you possibly do it? He's the future. It's like, you got Tage Thompson, a true 1C, prime age. You got term on a ridiculously good contract. I will do that every freaking time. Like, Danila Yurov, he's a great player. And you know what? One day, if we're really lucky, he might actually become as good as a Tage Thompson. Like, it's just like the Buyam with Quinn Hughes thing. It's like, yeah, if things go perfectly, Z Buyam might one day kind of be a Quinn Hughes. It's like, okay, you talked yourself into that's why he's gone and Hughes is here. Even Buyam has said it. He's like, I thought I was going to be here forever. And like, I don't think the team was lying to me, but like, it's Quinn Hughes. Like, I don't blame them. I get it. I understand it. Am I sad? Sure. But like, I get it. But you also haven't commented yet on Z Buyam's jersey number. I feel like you should.
I love it. I mean, he's just the man. But I also love that he puts up those a couple points in that first game. And then in Boston, Vancouver obviously wins in that shootout. And Liam Ogren, what a fucking game. Now he's got a couple points here in his first few games. And he was like, again, he's playing fourth line minutes there, but he's getting more minutes just like in general. And he, like, some of the plays that he made against the Bruins, and obviously like ices the game with the shootout winner.
Dude, that shot.
Of course. Oh, he's so good. So I'm happy for him. Oh, and again, I really need them to make a trade for Noah Ostlund, even though fucking Noah Ostlund's one of the most promising players for Buffalo now. Like,
yeah, they trade away all those guys though.
Good. That's true. I just desperately need them to reunite the 2022 NHL draft U-Garden trio of Ostlund, Lekaramaki, and Ogren, and let them cook.
Yes, they need to get the Infinity Gauntlet, just like the Minnesota Wild in 5 years. They're going to get Jack Hughes and Tate McRae to come over here. It's going to be very fun. I got to...
Hold on, though. Just because we were still talking about like what type of players you're looking at. Like, I mean, I don't really know what I look at who's going to be in contention with the playoffs in the West.
Well, but before that, sorry, just on the Vancouver Canucks piece, how bizarre and uncomfortable is it that two people like us who very much dislike Vancouver are now kind of going to be Vancouver fans light?
Yeah,
like,
disgust me.
Hand up. Like, I'm going to be pulling for Vancouver. I want to see all three of those guys succeed. I love all of them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, and better jerseys than Minnesota. Sorry, I said it.
Yeah, there you go.
Johnny Lazarus said that the jerseys the Wild wore on Sunday are a top 3 jersey in the NHL, and I almost puked.
I really like that. I know you don't.
But top 3 in the league, that is insane behavior.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of jerseys in the league that I like. I'm like, I like those. And the next day I wake up and I'm like, those fucking suck. I don't like that at all. Like, those are the worst. Those are ugly. I was like, wait, was that me talking to myself last night about liking them? I'm like, what's wrong with me? In my defense, I was sick this weekend, so whatever, my thoughts don't count. But what about this fucking Western Conference? It probably, to me, seems like these are probably the teams that are in there now are the most likely to, like, this is around how it ends up finishing. But let's say Utah falls off and they're not going to re-up Nick Schmaltz, or they're just looking. But, like,
that is one that I thought about. That's one that I thought about. I just didn't know. I feel like that's going to be too expensive.
Right. And then the other one who's probably going to be expensive as well, I think, but maybe not as much. Actually, I don't know, because he's got more term than Schmaltz is up as a UFA, so it'll be a rental. But like, if the Bruins do what they should do, even though they're not going to, would you be interested in making some kind of a move for a Pavel Zacha and or Casey Middlestat? Does that move the needle for you at all?
Me, no. Other people very much so have been saying they want either of those guys. I wouldn't be thrilled with either of them being Kaprizov center. Like, if that's your move, then just let Yurov get the experience is kind of my stance. I'd want a little bit more than that. And that's not to say, like, if Bill Guerin went out and did that and said that him and his scouts had enough reason that they think they're the right fit, like, fine, I'm not going to fight it. But that would not be my prerogative. I don't think that's enough of a bump unless you're getting them for pennies on the dollar, right? Mm-hmm. So
yeah, that's why
I'd go the other direction where it's tough because he's probably too expensive, but you could catch lightning in a bottle with a Lindholm. That's a guy that would, if Bill Guerin made that move, I'd at least be like, all right, balls on the table again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you want to lock yourself.
I don't want that contract. Right. That's tough. Right. Now, I got to say, dude, I brought this up before, but I feel like I need to bounce this one off of you. Everyone's talking about how Billy's like, oh, I'm just going to go get the big fish. I am at least like 30% confident that this is like, we know Billy G is a competitive SOB, right? Like, more competitive than anyone. Mm-hmm. And him and Fitzgerald are boys, right? And I'm pretty sure that Bill Guerin didn't get into the discussion for even being the GM of the Minnesota Wild until Fitzgerald was the front runner for the job. Came in to beat his buddy, cuck him out of it. Then Quinn Hughes goes and drops the Fitzy bomb. And that's when Bill Guerin's like, yo, Jim, what's it going to take for me to get Quinn Hughes? And cucks Fitzy right out of it again. I think that there's something to that. There has to be.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Fitzy did it.
I'm into it. Fitzy's fault.
It's that I already stopped. I had to stop myself because it could have turned into a really bad thing. But for that first day, just any time that I saw someone say Fitz on Twitter, I just did the little asterisk Fitzy, and it incited riots.
Yeah,
it was very fun. It was fun.
That'll weirdly fire up a lot of people online.
Some were okay and laughed it off. Others were not as much.
Yeah. Where was I going with that, dude?
You were talking about the West and how it's pretty much set.
Well, then I look out east again. Do you wonder about like what some of those teams do?
Where was I when St. Louis got back in the mix?
I have no idea because like I thought the same exact thing earlier. Like literally today, I was looking at the standings. I was like, that's not right. And I was like, wait, what's their record in the last 10 games? And I was like, is it like what's their last 10? And they're like 5-4 and what?
It is also crazy that it's narrowed as much as it has because it was way more spread. And now from the second wild card to last place in the West is 7 points. So,
and the LA Kings are looking like the LA Kings that you expected at the start of the year. They are fucking awful. I think they might be
wondering how you were going to phrase that.
I honestly think they might be a top 3 most unwatchable product in the NHL right now. Like I watched a couple of their games. Watched the ones in Florida. Oh God, who else did they play the other day? It was so fucking bad and disgusting. It was shocking to see
their
how
blue
bad.
Line sucks and their goaltending is not. You tell me that you're trusting Darcy Kemper riding into the postseason. I'm fucking not.
No, they probably still end up making the playoffs. Just when I look at like the drop out, but even Calgary's played themselves into conversations here too. Like it's so fucking weird.
That one is weird too. Yep.
And Seattle is in absolute fucking chaos mode. Like,
yeah,
I think it was Elliot.
What happened? That's so crazy. I think there's my other like real dart throw. Talk to me about Seattle Kraken. Like, let's just remove this season from the discussion. Their strongest aspect of their team is their pipeline at center, correct? Like, give me an order. Rank their centers a couple years from now. Just loosely. It doesn't have to be too much thought.
I'm gonna have to bring up the list, but I mean, you got.
I know who your first one is.
Catton, Beniers. I literally have to pull it up now.
Catton, O'Brien.
Oh right, yeah. O'Brien, why is this?
Catton, O'Brien, Beniers, and then
Right. Shane Wright.
Mr. fell down. So why can't the Wild either go after one of them or, and I'm a little hesitant on this one because I've been very outspoken saying that I think he is better as a wing than as a center, but pretty nice contract there for Jared McCann.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be mad if he ended up over here.
Yeah, no, I mean,
but Seattle should be a target. And I think this is going to sound sacrilegious, especially to you. So I apologize in advance, but I'm just workshopping here. What happened when we traded for Quinn Hughes? We have a luxury of wealth on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Now tell me, how comfortable / confident are you if your second pairing, the way that they've played together when both healthy, if your second pairing is Middleton and Spurgeon? Do you feel okay about that?
No, because this is where I was going to go next, actually, after you're talking about the forwards. No. First of all, they're not going to be healthy. I said no. Yeah, no.
Okay. All right.
I don't like that at all. Because I know they're not going to be healthy.
All right.
The defensive pairs also is an interesting thought, but after we talk about the forwards.
All right, we'll finish on the forwards, but yeah.
So here's the other one, though. Like, just again, given they've pretty much given up. As far as if you're gonna make a trade for a center, I still think they're more likely to add like middle or depth forward, most likely, and like ride with Yurov up front. It's like, I forget who I was talking to. He's like, "What do you think is gonna happen with Boone Jenner?" I was like, "Oh, the guy that can't stay healthy. The Minnesota Wild make a trade for him. That'd be great. That would be. We would be. Somehow we get even more injured than we have been over the last several years." But that was like another day. But I was like, if he was healthy, again, I think right now it probably would still end up being too expensive, just given how much assets you just gave up to acquire Quinn Hughes. But I still think you're just more likely to end up with some kind of a depth piece. And I still wonder just how expensive Nick Schmaltz is going to be, given the fact that, like, I can't imagine Utah is going to be comfortable throwing out a long-term contract this summer. And then everyone know, like, I mean, he's an expiring UFA. He's going to be 30. Like, I don't know.
And they're also just in the spot where they will be in the playoff hunt all the way through. So if they're going to move him, it's going to be for some level of we're getting something now. And I think it's for him,
that's
hang on though.
Big.
But this is what you're going to hate though, Z. So, and we don't have to pivot into defense, but I think the way to get a Schmaltz, to get a McCann, to get whatever, your boy is part of the package. Jonas Brodin.
Yeah, I would be more comfortable if you brought in a depth piece up front, but then you have the top 4D of Brodin, Spurgeon, and favored Hughes. But again, where I'm going next is, do you ever at any point consider breaking those two up and going like Faber, Brodin, Hughes with Spurgeon? Because I think like
I don't like Hughes and Spurgeon. I don't like that.
Okay. Either way, breaking up. Okay, maybe we could just frame it this way then. Breaking up Faber and Hughes.
We had this conversation about Buyam and Faber, right? Long term. Mm-hmm. I think weirdly, and it's early, small sample size, I feel like once they really get in a rhythm, I think that playing with Hughes is going to bring a lot out of Faber's game.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I'm okay with the idea of splitting them up, but I do wonder like how you go about that. Because like,
and I'm thinking about more strategically, especially down the line. Like, I mean, we watched people obviously know everything about how good Quinn Hughes is offensively, but we watched the underlying numbers against the Edmonton Oilers with Quinn Hughes playing like 30, however many minutes. with like him versus McDavid in that whole line, with the Minnesota Wild having like 76% expected goals for when Connor McDavid and Quinn Hughes are both on the ice, which is outrageous. Like, we know that he can play crazy minutes and put up like superhuman results. I still would love it if they could figure out, or if you separate Faber and Hughes, and then you can have Hughes closer to like a 24, 25 minutes instead of like 30. And then, like, let's say you're trailing in the third period, or it's tied, or you need to like unleash him to just go nuts.
Yeah,
like pretty much what they do the first like 8 or 9 minutes of that third period against Colorado the other day, when they made that push, that brief push, but they started loading up the top line and with Faber and Hughes, and like Quinn Hughes went nuts a few times, just like transporting the puck. So like if you could like manage those minutes where you can really start leaning on him, like later on in games when you're just like not making him play 32 minutes a night. Like, I just wonder what those results would even look like. Like, I mean, again, we saw what he can do. We know that he can play like half of the game and put up crazy results and put up crazy numbers. But if there would be a way to manage those minutes, and then you could really just unleash it when you really need him to, and like see what happens. That interests me.
That's fair.
Like, like if, again, like the game Sunday against the Avs, it was just a different conversation. But like, let's say you hit the third period, or there's like 10 minutes left in the game, you're down 2-1, and you just want to fucking load up that top line and then throw Faber and Hughes on the ice. Like, you're gonna have the puck the whole time. The cycle's gonna be they're gonna be going insane, and it would be some of the most enjoyable hockey to possibly watch.
Here's my question for you, because like I'm with you on everything here, but it's hard for me to wrap my head around this. I don't know how you ever get Bill Guerin there. Just the visual of Hughes and Spurgeon out on the ice together. You think Bill Guerin can ever sign off on that?
Well, just make sure that Bill Guerin's aware that Quinn Hughes is 6 foot. As long as he knows that.
But he doesn't look it.
I know.
Like, the problem is the visual. Bill Guerin's going to look at that and be like, oh my God, we're freaking peewees.
You're gonna hear him screaming from the fucking like GM suite on the call.
Hey, you know what? Tell Spurge it's okay if he wants to chop people's Achilles. He needs to. We got no chance.
Fine. It's cool.
Like, I don't know. I'm okay with splitting them. I just don't see a good match if they do so. But it would be the best case scenario if they could manage it. I just don't know. But back to the forward group just briefly. I need them to find a way to have the third line be Yurov, Trenyan, and Tarasenko. Like, put Hartman up on the first line if you have to.
I was going to say the forward lines that you had against Colorado, that's like the easiest way to do that, right? Like,
and a lot can change between now and the postseason, but if they are playing even remotely the way they are now, that is your third line. Solves everything we've been talking about with the Wild having no scoring depth. You now have 3 lines that can score, and a fourth line that's going to beat the shit out of people. So I don't know, but I think the Wild need to decide whether or not it's chips to the middle, or is this a building year for next year to be chips in the middle? If that makes sense. Like, are you just trying to win a round or two and like establish yourselves as a playoff team, get that experience for your players that have never won a playoff round? Or are you legitimately sitting here saying, we need to win it this year, let's do everything we can to make that happen? Like, those are, I know it like sounds stupid, and it's like, of course you want to go for the cup. Like, but if you're really going for the cup, you're willing to do riskier things to bring in the pieces to make that happen. Like, there is a fine line between the two. And I don't know which one's the right answer. Maybe we learn that better, like coming out of the Olympics, based on how players are playing, injuries, people boosting their trade stock, whatever. I think we need to answer that question before we can really establish what the Wild can or can't do, what they should or shouldn't do.
Oh, I mean, I think the second you acquire Quinn Hughes, you're going for a cup.
Okay, well then I think it's reckless to not go out and get a center. You have to. Because I don't think as currently constructed, can you? Sure. Things can bounce your way and like you have a good enough roster to win. I do not think that you can beat both of Dallas and Colorado and whoever else comes out on the like. I just don't see them matching up there if they don't have another guy in the top 6 at center.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I still think even if they brought in deputy, like, I still don't know what to make of the Dallas Stars. I can't figure it out. I have no idea. I think they're just good, and I need to stop like galaxy braining it. And they're very good, obviously. And like, but either way, like, I think there's the Colorado Avalanche, and then there's a big there's like a drop off, obviously, and then like the rest of the contenders. But I think Minnesota has like put themselves in the conversation as one of the best teams in the NHL, especially like what they were able to do with half of the lineup fucking out is crazy to me.
Agreed.
And again, like just the addition of Quinn Hughes just checks off like. As far as the holes go, this checks so many boxes, just like scoring from the back end, depth scoring in general, and then that should be like furthering boosting a power play, whatever. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Like, I think how many practices has Quinn Hughes even had?
That's funny you say that because let's see, someone just commented that. Where the heck is it? Here it is. Somewhat crazy. Hughes has had what? 2 full practices with this squad. The chemistry will come, which I'm not debating that at all. And again, Quinn Hughes existing on this team is going to help the depth scoring. I just don't. I've seen it too many times, man. When has a team gone and pushed deep into the playoffs without having depth at center? This team is deficient at that. And Danilo Yurov as a 3C versus Danilo Yurov as a 1C is a massive freaking swing for this team. And I think it matters a lot when we talk about having to, in all likelihood, play the 2 best teams in the league in Dallas and Colorado in your first 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think there's a lot of reasons for optimism for the Wild. Their blue line being better than both of those teams, their goaltending being better, at least if you look at the tandem being better than both of those teams. And I'm not as high on Ottinger as some, but I haven't seen many teams win without center depth. Like, how it's not happening. So
yeah, again, I'm just looking at like realistic scenarios. You know what I mean? That's right. All.
Well, no, and like what you're saying is all fair. Like they've done crazy things with the injuries that they've had. It's also regular season hockey, not postseason hockey, is I guess my stance.
Yeah. No, I get it.
It is encouraging. It is.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying because like again, once you make that swing at Quinn Hughes, you know, they're like I still think they end up again, maybe it's like a long term. I think he signs an extension here. In Minnesota, like I just think he will. But like, let's say it doesn't happen or whatever. You're not in like. They're again. I'm sure they're confident they can get it done, but they're obviously like acutely aware that there's a possibility that he's here this year, next year. That's it. So like I don't think they're gonna be. I don't think you hit the deadline and you're sitting there like, well, if you're here for 2 years, unless they suck next year, they trade them.
That would really be a bummer. Do you think he, like, gun to your head right now, does he extend? Yes or no?
I think he does.
I feel pretty okay about him coming back. Now, Elliot here saying, what's your thoughts on if Quinn resigns? Thank you so much for the proper hyphenation. Elliot, you get all the gold stars. But I do think it would be a 3-year at a minimum because that matches him to Jack's term if that's actually the direction they're going. But you can't discount the guaranteed money and the favorable structure that the Wild could do with heavy bonuses. Like, they're gonna have a good chance to take
That's
a
a
big swing
huge
and get him
weapon.
long term. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to turn that down in a league where like the guaranteed money matters. It does. You never know when your career is going to be done, and it's the one thing that's better about like our league compared to say the NFL. Right? Contracts are smaller. You get hurt, you're guaranteed. They get hurt, they are screwed. And it shouldn't matter that much, but his first press conference, man, like, he doesn't have to say the things he said. He is a savvy guy. He has navigated the Vancouver media. He could have easily come in and said, like, oh, it's just great to be here. Can't wait to like feel it out and see how things are with the guys. And like, we'll play it like from there, but like excited to be here in Minnesota. No, he like gave the biggest vote of confidence for like, yeah, I'm going to remember that Billy sacked up. And I like, this is a crazy market. Holy shit. You guys were cheering like crazy for me at warmups. This is awesome. I really think that this is a guy that you could convince to stay here. And that, I mean, it is the make or break for this trade, right? Like, if you trade for him and he doesn't stay and you don't win a cup, you're in trouble.
It's still gonna be hard for me to sit there and be like, I wouldn't do that again.
It's not like, bad. It's just to say, I don't know. For me, it's more, is a 2-year window worth throwing away all the pieces you did when you could have just easily parlayed those pieces into like, let's just workshop this. Like, Kevin Adams has not been fired yet. You could have traded those same assets to get Tage Thompson. I would rather have Quinn Hughes in a vacuum. Tage Thompson has cost certainty. He has term, and he fills a big freaking need that this organization has had forever. That's where I look back and say, damn it, should we have gone a different direction with those assets? Not should we have traded it all, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get that's like, I think that's like, I think it's too easy to say this. Like, well, I would have done like a massive trade for like Tage Thompson when like I think right now it was even before they started this 6-game win streak, which by the way, it's very funny that like a 6-game win streak, it's like they're back.
But I don't think anyone's going to
sign up.
No one's going to the Sabres with that trade though, right?
Right.
Like if you go to Kevin Adams, you're like, hey, I'll give you Boyum, Ogren, Rossi, and a first-round pick for Tage. He's like, oh shit. Yeah, I actually got to think about this. Like, I'm not saying that I have any problem with this trade, even if it doesn't work out. Like, was it worth the swing? Maybe. It's more just, could you have taken a different swing that was safer long-term versus a guy who's shown very big interest in playing either with his brothers or in Detroit or both, has given you zero assurances of extending. There's something looming there that if you can't win a cup or get him to extend, that is a big problem. I like the push. I mean, I like the move. I think that it's worth it probably to at least establish yourselves as a contender, but you gotta make something of it. Because if you're just going back to the drawing board and you lost those pieces and it's like, all right, now what? That's a tough one to come back from. Back to mediocrity.
Yeah. I mean, either way, the second best defense in the NHL comes available. Like, I just think you have to make the swing. Like, and I'm, you know what? The most annoying thing that I keep hearing from some people who just fucking need to shit on someone on Twitter every day. Like, the people are like, well, you're like, oh, what? You're going to go beat Dallas and Colorado. Like, what do you want us to fucking do? Like, we should just wait.
I can't hear you.
No, I know. It keeps unplugging. I don't know why.
Stop unplugging it.
People that are like, you're still not on the same level as Colorado. I'm like, no one is, but okay, like,
yeah,
or
like what?
Dallas. But I'm like, there's an argument there, but also, would you like the Minnesota Wild to wait for Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar and Marty Necas to retire? Is that what, is that what the plan is?
Z.
Like I just tell you, that shit drives me nuts.
What is he going to be making? Is the real question. And I think it's probably
it'll be
15.
big boy though. Yeah, it'll be the 15s. Yeah, the 15s. Yeah,
that's
around the
a tough
15.
one.
Yeah. I mean, second best defense in the NHL. You got Faber locked up at 9. Like,
yeah. You don't let talent like that walk. You figure the rest of the shit out around it if you need to. If he's willing to sign long term, give him the Kaprizov money. I don't even freaking care at this point.
Yeah, make sure that maybe for the next 2 years, someone needs to tell Craig Leopold he's not allowed to comment on how much their money they want to offer. From him. Any good stay away.
Z, speaking of centers, how far off is Charlie Stramel? In watching some Michigan State games, he seems like a guy who can play up and down a lineup, who can win draws and play good net front. So I guess that's twofold from Luke, which, Luke, appreciate you. I don't think we've seen you as much on some of these chats, so welcome. Z, can he contribute to the Wild this year? And regardless of this year, can he play any higher in the lineup than 3, maybe 2C?
No, I mean, not this year, but I mean, I would imagine once Michigan State season ends, I mean, we'll see what the fuck it. I feel like with this team, we're gonna have to caveat every single one of these conversations. We'll see what the roster situation, the cap situation fucking looks like. We have to say it. It's unbelievable. But depending on like when their season wraps up, I'd imagine he gets. I wouldn't be shocked if he signs and gets a couple of games, but I mean, even next year, I'd imagine there's a decent chance he still ends up starting in the AHL. And even though I think he could play, I think it was his coach Nightingale was like, he's one of, if not the best, like net front guy I've ever coached. Like what he's doing at Michigan State right now is just, he's been so fucking good. Him and Martone together on that top line is just insane. But he's like, again, his entire tenure at Michigan State, his whole, like, both years have been like just an incredible turnaround. And he is looking like a very, very, I mean, he's always been like a projectable NHL player, but like, obviously when he was at Wisconsin, he just like, there was nothing good going on. There was a terrible situation. And just watching the game develop, like, watching him, like, and like before the season started, we'd like to see him make more like high-end plays at pace. He's doing that this year. He's turning pucks over. You can't fucking move him from front of the net. So like, I just think he projects as a really, really solid middle to bottom six, third, fourth line center, the NHL, who has that scoring touch, who can make plays. But I mean, as far as like this year, I don't think you're going to see him. I would be, if he's playing in the playoffs, that's a problem. Like everything
in the playoffs, it means we're hurt.
Or he's the best player of all time. I don't know. It's one or the other. Either everyone is hurt, or he is the best player. Him and Felix Auger-Sorb are challenging to be the best players in the NHL.
Imagine him centering Foligno and Trennian.
It's like
just the Bash brothers killing each other. Although no, the Bash brothers, the third guy has to be smaller, so that doesn't work. Never mind. Who's our Ken Wu?
Hinostroza? He just nonstop is chirping, just like Hartman. Them two together, by the way, Hartman, the video.
Hey, I just heard Cartman for the first time you said it, and we're gonna turn that into like Ryan Hartman is gonna be Ryan Cartman, and it's
literally because when it's the H with my voice is that where it comes out like, and it sounds like I'm saying Cartman. That I can't really fucking breathe. But dude, when he took the cross check in the face,
love today.
Yeah, dude, like the clip of Ryan Hartman after taking that cross check from Drury in the face, and the camera just goes right to Hartman on the bench, and he's just like laughing and chirping. And he's like, "You want to go? We get up? Like, are we gonna go? I don't care. Let's go." It's just like he is such a fucking rat. I love it. Again, I will. No matter he could take the dumbest penalty, I'm just gonna be chuckling. I'll be like, I don't really care. When Foligno does it, I don't like it.
Yeah.
That was a rough third period. Yeah. And sometimes Hartman can't either, and it's worse. But like, it's still funny.
A question that's been asked on socials and on other podcasts. I have a strong opinion. I assume you're in the same camp, but I gotta ask it. Goaltending tandem has been great. You can only play one goalie in the postseason. Do you use one of those goalies to go out and upgrade your forwards?
No.
Good. You passed the test. Actually, no.
That would be sick.
No. Wrong. The answer should have been fuck no. Absolutely not. If you trade one of these goalies, it better be for Jesus Christ himself.
Another goalie as well. Like it'd be a double package. Like
it better be for Sidney Crosby and one of their goalie prospects that are chilling over there.
Yeah. Bring back
a lot of people are talking Sidney Crosby. Actually, Z.
Hey, you go nuts about Crosby.
No, I'm not gonna go nuts about Crosby. I want Gino.
Yeah, you want Gino, yeah.
He's way more attainable.
Another Russian.
And it would just be so fun. It'd be so fun.
Dude, yeah.
I don't know if you saw the workouts this summer.
Who's he working out with?
I forget his name. Forget his name. That would be fun. Anything else Minnesota Wild current roster that you want to talk about?
Carson Lambo's NHL debut.
Oh, awesome. That did come up, actually. Someone mentioned it.
I thought he was awesome. Like, his willingness to push the pace and carry the puck and look to, like, drive was impressive. Like, he looked like he did not look nervous. I like the confidence. And again, I thought he made some strong plays, made a couple, like, turned some pucks over along the wall, looked like comfortable in his own end, like with extended Columbus, like zone time or whatever.
Am I the only one that didn't realize that he hadn't already debuted?
I know it was because he was like, we were all sure he was going to. Like last year was like a sure thing he was going to, that he like didn't end up, like he ended up just getting scratched anyways.
Yeah. I thought he had for sure, and I
kept on saying,
I'm like, I think he's played, but no.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was great. I think he would play like just under 11 minutes. I want to say something like that. Yeah. Again, his willingness to like push the puck himself, spearmint, just like coming out of his own end, making some nice passes. Just looked comfortable, and again, like his willingness to like jump up into the play and shoot, like I thought it was great. So I was very impressed with his debut. I'm very happy it finally fucking happened. Good for him.
Yeah. Now, it gotta address, because people have said like, oh yeah, Lambos is definitely still up there for trade bait. I need you to just like, I don't have the words or the patience, and that's, you know, I'm working on this, but there's a lot of people that are like, oh, Benak has had so many points. Why can't we like package him in a deal to bring in like a top forward? It's like, bitch, you don't think that like GMs knew that he could do this? It's still different than translating it to the NHL game. He's small. That's the thing. He has a big hill to climb, not trying to drag further puns into it, but like, you look at guys like him and Kiviharju, who both fell and the Wild got them late. And there's a lot of promise with both those players, who are the two representatives for the Wild in the World Junior Championship. Their value is nothing, right? As far as trades are concerned.
Yeah. Right.
Can you explain that to people?
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, everyone knew that Adam Benak had all the skill in the world, really good two-way player. So again, like he is his size, like he just is. Like, but so like every team already knew this. But I mean, again, like what he's doing right now in the OHL is I think he's top 5 in league scoring on that Brantford team, which just like an outrageous hockey team in general. You know, if he in a couple of years, if he just continues on like this trajectory, yeah, like his value is obviously gonna like go up, obviously. Kiviharju right now, his stock's pretty low. I can tell you that. This is going to be a huge World Juniors for him. And I mean, Team Finland, Buffalo is not loaning Hellenius, so that's going to be a big blow to them. But Kiviharju is going to be logging like 28 minutes a night in this World Juniors tournament. It's been an up and down year again in Finland for him. That team is not great. But pretty inconsistent so far. Like there's been a few games where he's popped offensively. He is like quarterback of that first power play unit.
Why won't Buffalo let him go? Why? He's playing in the AHL. Why would you not let him go?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't super. It was a bummer. I wasn't like totally shocked though. Like, especially, we'll see what happens the rest of the year. Like, they're probably gonna have him up relatively soon. I think he had an injury recently as well. I think he had an injury last year, maybe. So he's had a couple nagging injuries. So I wasn't totally surprised. And like the amount of minutes that he was going to be playing, like I was, it sucks, but like I wasn't like shocked. When you like in the past few years, we've seen at least it feels like one or two guys either that are like draft prospects or big NHL prospects that have gone. It feels like one or two always end up getting a bad injury in that tournament.
Fair. I have to just, Brian, I don't know if this is you trolling because you know my disdain, but if they trade for Granlund, I'll scream. I will scream at the top of my lungs. Especially after that stupid contract that he was given. You're laughing, but I know you agree. I know you agree with the contract bit at least.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Hey, they're top of the Pacific. Hey.
Really good division.
Apparently the Pacific is just not a thing anymore. Pretty wild, actually.
Shit show.
Anything else with the Wild, with the NHL before we transition solely to prospects and World Juniors?
Yeah, and even the World Juniors talk would be somewhat brief anyways.
Well, all right, let's keep it simple. We'll keep it simple-ish. Like, first, I know a lot of people listening understand and care, and hopefully that's like growing and growing based on the recent USA success with back-to-back gold. Explain to people like why this tournament actually matters and why it's so important, whether it's like your team has drafted a guy that's playing there and you're watching them, or it's guys that are going to be drafted this upcoming NHL draft. Like, why does this tournament matter so much?
Yeah, I mean, like for the players that are drafted, a lot of times, especially guys that go high or just maybe they fell in the draft, someone like a Benak or like a Kiviharju, like, and even Benak, I don't know if you consider him falling. I think everyone loved them, but like they just weren't going to be able to see past the size thing. A lot of times they end up playing like pro or whatever, and you want to see how they stack up against their peers. And then for guys playing in like juniors, you want to see how they stack up against the best of the best in their own age group. Like sometimes you watch the Brantford Bulldogs take on like the worst VOHL, but not going to put up 7 points. And like you don't really know what you could possibly take from that. But then when you watch them going up against like Team Canada, Team USA, like guys his age who are the best of the best, it just kind of gives you like a measuring stick. Someone like a Kiviharju is like in a pretty shitty situation in Finland right now, and it's been up and down. Like he's gonna be given all responsibility of this tournament for Team Finland. It's gonna be a big opportunity for him to like shine, and again, just like stick out amongst his peers and guys his age. So, plus, I mean, these kids are just fired up to play, and like even sometimes, whether it's World Juniors or like the U18s, like you can like really see how well guys could kind of like control themselves too. Like someone like a Trevor Connolly takes like a fucking brutal penalty in the gold medal game, like in the third period, he gets thrown out, like Canada scores 3 immediately. Like that always comes in. I mean, that's not like the biggest thing that we're gonna be paying attention to anyways, but just seeing how they stack up against their peers. And then this year especially though is going to be big for the guys that are getting drafted this year. There's a bunch of legit NHL draft prospects all going to be here. Specifically, obviously we're doing the Veerhoff McKenna thing.
But let's start with your golden children. Let's do it. We've got actually a comment here. Whoever excited to see Stenberg and Bjork actually going to be attending Sweden's World Junior game on the 26th. Looking forward to it. Thank you, whoever. But those are 2 of your babies. Talk about them.
They played that game against Canada. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Can't remember. They played a pre-tournament game, and I mean, both looked phenomenal. Stenberg is legitimately putting his stake in the ground to go first overall. He's absolutely in.
Do you think he
strong contention? I think he can. Yeah. I think there's a lot more people now who have McKenna out of that top spot, whether it's Veerhoff, whether it's Stenberg, even Corey Proman's got Tynan Lawrence, my boy, as his first overall right now.
People are mad about that one.
Oh yeah, big time. So again, this will be a huge measuring stick. I mean, McKenna, I think I said this a couple weeks ago when we were talking about like the draft in general, but like this is a huge tournament for Gavin McKenna, which I think everyone would have said that regardless, but like now, especially given the start to the season at Penn State and how good Stenberg's been in Sweden, the positional aspect of it too, with like Veerhoff, even like Chase Reed, Tynan Lawrence as a center, like this is a massive tournament for him. Yeah, obviously that the game starts with McKenna accidentally scoring on his own net with the delayed penalty. By the way, it was so weird. I was watching the first period of that game, and obviously that happened. And then I was like walking to the store, and I just like went to go look at like the box score real quick, so I wasn't sure if the second period started. And I had forgot that happened, so I was so confused when it was like first period. I think the goal went to Viggo Bjork. It said Viggo Bjork on an empty net, and I was like, 10 minutes into the first. Oh, right. Okay. I forgot he McKenna threw in his own net. I was like, an empty net goal in the first period going up 1-0. I was like, what is Canada doing? But Viggo Bjork really he's been good too. And he's been legit playing in the SHL this year too. He's playing big minutes. He's putting up some points. He's so fucking good. Again, it's going to be the size thing with him. So we'll see. I think he firmly goes first round. It's not like a Benak situation. But I think they're going to be playing together a lot at this tournament. And Stenberg is just, God, he doesn't really have any glaring weaknesses. Like, he just gives you a little bit of everything. He's got a ridiculous motor. He's a beast. He's super strong. He looks bigger than he is. And a lot of that is just like his willingness to engage in battle. Like, he is a fucking animal in the SHL below the goal line, along the boards, and a beast in front of the net. And that just goes along with his like legit insane skill. He can shoot. Like, he can just do everything. There's just no weakness really in his game. So this will be Sweden's going to be so fun. And a player that I really liked last year, 2 years ago in the draft, like I thought Philly took him a little early, but like still love the player, so I understood it. Jack Berglund, who's going to be the captain. Watch, I think he's going to have a monster tournament too. Big kid, really good two-way game, ton of skill, good skater, and he is mean too, so he's going to be really fun. I expect a big tournament from him as well. But that team is going to be legit.
Oh, this is news to me. I don't know if it is to you, Z. Trevor Connolly injured again. He will not play. Big blow.
That is a huge blow.
I mean, until the third period.
Yeah, plus.
Well, now LJ better freaking be there.
He's on this team.
He better freaking be. So tell me about Viggo Bjork, who I know is like your favorite son this year. Is he Like, what is his ceiling and floor as far as draft pick? Like, what is the highest you can see him going, and what's the furthest you can see him fall?
I think the highest I could see him go is that, like,
7, 8.
I'd be shocked if he went that high. I think you're going to see a ton of defensemen go really early. There's a bunch of, like, this is just the year of the defenseman, which one of them will be at this tournament, and he's going to solidify himself as a top 10 guy. He's probably a top 10 guy now anyways for Lafayette. Albert Schmitz.
He's a guy that I'm hearing could actually push for number 1 defenseman taken.
He's putting up, oh yeah. Like what he's doing right now in Finland and his experience already with like Lafayette national team, he's going to be playing like 35 minutes of this tournament. Like he is insane. He's so fun, but he's going to be making a big push. I think if people don't know much about him before this tournament, he is going to become very well known for anyone that watches closely. He is going to be doing literally everything for Lafayette. He's going to be on the ice like the whole game. It's going to be awesome. Huge fan of him. But anyways, Viggo Bjork, like I think he is their only U18 player on this team. I think it's the first time a U18 player has made Team Sweden for the World Juniors in like 3 or 4 years. And he's not going to be like a bottom 6 guy. He's going to be in their top 6. He's a super smart 2-way center. Again, like, yes, there's the size issues, but like moves really well. He is physical for his size too. Like it's fun watching him going up like in the SHL against just like some of these 6'4" mutants and just like engaging physically himself, like just choosing to, but he can shoot. He's got an insane hands. And I mean, he can make plays. He's just like, he wants to make plays every single time he touches the puck. So he's going to be fully engaged physically. And again, he's going to be like driving the net. He's probably going to be playing with Stenberg, I would imagine. But yeah, he is really, really good. So we'll see how NHL teams feel about the size thing. But I mean, it's like his skill level, his talent's just undeniable at this point. And the amount of pro hockey he's already played as a U18 player, like he's played a couple of games last year pro, scored a couple goals. Like he's legit. So
let's talk about the spread then. Like in your mind, is it Canada, Sweden, USA? Like, is that really the stretch of who could win it all, or do you have any other countries that are worth talking about?
I mean, Czechia will challenge as well. Like they always perform well at this tournament. And they've got a bunch of really fun players. Another guy for the draft to watch, who I think is going to also like push for top 10. I think he'll probably end up just outside the top 10, but Adam Novotny plays for the Peterborough Petes right now. He's been a fucking beast. He is a forechecking machine, but he has tons of hard skill too. He can shoot. Very translatable game. So he's probably going to play some big minutes for Czechia here too. He's played some pro in Europe before as well, and then he's also played for the Czechia men's team already. So that's going to be another one to watch for the draft at this tournament. Adam Benak will be in that top 6. I don't even know how to say his name. Wojtek Shihar. I think that's how you say it. I think he was a first-round pick. LA last year. He's a really good player as well. He'll be one to watch. He'll be on that top. Yeah, I think so. But that'll be another one to watch for them as well. Let's see. Oh, yeah, then Nestrasil, first-round pick for the Blackhawks. He has started off at UMass. He's been a fucking beast this year. College hockey, so that could be another fun one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, then we already went deep on Sweden, so I think to round this out, we definitely have to give some time to Canada and USA. We'll end on USA. Let's go Canada first. This is a group that has been scrutinized year after year for overthinking or underthinking their rosters. Just blanket statement, how do you feel about the decisions they made this year? Thumbs up, thumbs down, or not really sure?
I mean, it's hard to look at this roster and have any glaring issues. Like, I thought it was funny because right before or last time we did this, I would have thought like someone like Merrick Vanaker, the Blackhawks prospect, would have been a good player to bring. And then he ended up being a late addition, and he was one of the first cuts, or he was one of the cuts after their game against Sweden, along with Jake O'Brien.
Who was it that showed up though that
Jackson
bumped
Smith.
him though?
What?
Didn't someone end up like coming from the NHL that bumped Vanaker off?
No, it was a long shot for him to even make it, even after he got invited, even after like being a late invite. And then even with, I guess Misa, but like he was going to be at the top of that lineup anyways. Like he was really, that was always going to be it. But the one that people were talking about is Jake O'Brien, and like I think I talked about this with you last time too. Like I wasn't surprised that Jake O'Brien got cut. Like, yes, he's leading the OHL in scoring. Right. No, I'm saying as far as the bubble guys go, I was like, I'd be more surprised if he did go. Well, if he's not a top six center for you, he's not going to be playing. And he's not going to be on either one of those power play units. So like, you're not going to put him in your bottom six. He's going to be either like a 13th forward or you're setting him up. And at that point, like, I don't know. Like I wasn't overly surprised. And then I was bummed for Jackson Smith just because I love the kid. But again, when you look at, I was surprised that they kept both Vierhoff and Carroll's. Part of that is the fact that Dickinson's not going. But at the same time, it's kind of like the same thing as O'Brien. You look at like that, their back end, you're like, where would Jackson Smith have realistically played? I don't know. So I think it'll be interesting to see who starts off getting more minutes between Vierhoff and Carroll's. I have a nagging suspicion, just given like Carroll's got a more like controlled game, less chaotic. He'll probably start as like that 70 and work his way up the lineup maybe a little bit. Vierhoff, we'll see how many minutes he really does get. Again, he's super young. They rarely, unless you're like, obviously they had like Schaefer last year, and that didn't last very long for obvious reasons.
I mean, not long.
So I'll be curious to see just like how much time Vierhoff even gets. It's just like he plays like a crazy, like somewhat out of control game at times. And when you're just looking at like where, like what kind of minutes would you want him to play, it's like probably close to the bottom. So I don't know. Carroll's probably fits that bill most likely. And even a guy like Ethan McKenzie will probably get those minutes as well. So kind of just the way it goes. And when you look at like the right side, you got Zane Perrick, Harrison Bernanke, and Ben Danford. It's just going to be hard for Vierhoff to get a ton of minutes anyways.
Yeah. Does this Team Canada roster scare you?
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's a fucking insane lineup.
But isn't it always like compared to the typical Team Canada lineup? Like, how does this feel?
I think they didn't galaxy brain it as hard as they have in years past. Like when you look at some of the players that they're going to have playing role, like some of the role players that they're bringing fit way better than like what they've done in the past. Like they've legitimately just tried to, like I remember a couple years ago they just brought like 0 defensemen that weren't like 6'4". It's like, okay, like cool, man. Like sweet. You can't even hit in this tournament. Like I don't know, like what's the point? And I mean, you look at the guys that they're gonna have, like some of their bottom six forwards, like Chet Luchenko, Cole Baudouin, Liam Greentree, Braden Coots, Sam O'Reilly, Cole Reshney. Like Carter Bear might be the odd man out at this point.
Is it kind of funny to you though that like Luchenko gets traded and he is now taking a roster spot from a guy who on his own roster is slotted higher than him?
Yeah, on paper it just looks funny, but then you just like
it makes sense, but it's still very weird and funny.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what they do with that third line. I would imagine the top six, I think, the practice lines today, and Desnoyers ended up coming on the ice later, but he was like just taking a maintenance day. That top six was Iginla, Misa, Martone, McKenna, Hage, Martin, which is, I mean, Jesus Christ. That is fucking insane.
Say that again.
Iginla, Misa, Martone, McKenna, Hage, Martin. That is out fucking outrageous.
Shout out to our friends in Utah, by the way. We got both Tij, and Desnoyers. Very fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And I mean, again, like Desnoyers wasn't there for the start practice. I think he's like jumped on the ice for a little bit just to get a little skate in, but he was taking that maintenance space. That third line in the practice today was Reshny, Baudouin, and Luchenko. Again, that's where Desnoyers is going to slot in. So it's going to be like, to me, like Coots and Reshny are so similar. And again, the fourth line was Green Tree with Coots and O'Reilly. It'll be interesting to see. And like Carter Bear's on the outside looking at it too. If they do make any cuts, I don't know. But it'll be interesting. I would imagine that third line is some combination of just Baudouin with Desnoyers and Luchenko. And like we'll see if they're. I would imagine it's going to be one of Reshny or Coots with O'Reilly and Green Tree. And then we'll see what happens with Carter Bear. But
I mean, O'Reilly can't be cut, right?
He's playing. He'll be playing.
He's long tonight. He can't be cut.
No, it's illegal. Hunter cutting over.
So tell me then. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I've got the red, white, and blue tinted glasses, but I feel like the demise of Team USA coming into this World Juniors has been drastically overstated. I'm not going to come in here and say they're the favorite because they're not, but this is absolutely a roster. Like, praise be, goaltending works out. Like, this is a roster that could win.
Oh, yeah. There's still a ton of talent. It's just like, they
don't have the, like, fuck all of you first line like they have had the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who is the first line going to be the one that we've all talked about for a while now, being your boy plus Stiga plus Zemer? Or is it gonna be the Duluth boy with whoever they want to throw with him?
I mean, I'm not sure. They had a bunch of guys not playing against Germany yesterday, but they had Stiga playing 2C and then Hagen playing 1C.
That's weird.
But I mean, again,
I thought they're going to play Plant.
Horkoff was playing on the wing at that point. I don't know.
Is Plant not going to?
Someone just said USA needs to call up JP Hurlburt ASAP. That's never going to. He'll never play. There's a lot of bad blood there. That's not happening.
Little bit of bad blood there.
A little bit of baggage. So he's not going to be there. He rules. I love him, but then he is torching the dub still. It's very fun to watch. It'll be interesting to see how the line shake out. And like, it's so funny. Like USA, it feels like any time they have a late addition, they end up making the team and playing. Like Will Zellers obviously gets the late call up, and he starts at that fourth line. And then with Yzerman not playing, they gave him reps on that second power play unit, which tells me that he's probably going to be making this team. Like he's going to be making the final cut.
Oh, I thought Zellers was out. Damn, I was not aware of this.
I think it was actually the day that we last did this. We were talking about World Juniors. He was called up as a late addition that day.
Yeah, but I thought he got clipped since that. No.
No, he scored a couple goals last night. It was all over the place. Him and Riker Lee were torching. It was very fun. Riker Lee is going insane. Some of the assists he put up yesterday were so funny. He every single time he touches the puck, he plans on going Sports Center top 10 mode. It is he has like such a fuck you attitude and just preposterous skill. Again, I've watched that fucking play against Notre Dame where he chipped the puck up to himself and knocked it back down between the kid's legs and then broke his ankles. I was like, it was so disrespectful. And I think everyone's reaction is, what the fuck was that? What the fuck did I just watch? It was great. But some of the again, they were playing Germany, so take with a grain of salt. But like some of the assists he put up yesterday were just a joke.
All right. True or false? Team USA has the best defenseman in the entire tournament. Singular, to be clear, MAN. One defenseman.
I think if USA does go around and make, I think Cole Hudson ends up being player of the tournament if they go on and win a gold. He's gonna have to do, I mean, exactly what he did last year, I guess. For this tournament, he might be, but same time, look at some of the other guys too. Jesus, I don't know.
All right, a good non-answer.
I mean, he's coming in as one of the favorites to be player of the tournament. So
it would be tragic if LJ Mooney was left off the roster.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting left off.
So who's he playing with?
I have no idea. The Connolly injury really shakes things up. I have no, because the lines yesterday weren't even close to what they're going to be because how many guys that didn't even play.
Right.
Like Eisman didn't play. Actually, like half of the guys that are going to be in that lineup didn't play. So. What are the odds? I might sprinkle a little something on USA.
The goaltending just scares me.
Yeah, I know. I think they're bringing a fourth too.
They should bring 7.
Every goalie from America is going. They actually didn't bring any defensemen. They just brought. They're going to play 2 goalies at a time. That's how it works. You're allowed to do that.
See, I know this one won't make you happy, but happy for goalie Fowler got his first win for Habs.
And he was nails in that game too.
Good for you being
yeah
about it.
I mean, what am I going to do at this point? It's going to be so, I mean, it's going to be easy to hate them, but like at the same time, on an individual level, I love almost every single one of their players. It's going to make me sick for 20 fucking years. It's going to suck.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. GPL Jupe says LJ will be on the team, but Kwasnica, no. Kwasnica will not.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
I was actually just like very reassured. Like I think it's very positive that he got the invite this time around. Like this summer, I did not have him pegged on my list for guys that were going to be called in.
Right.
Anything else worth talking about going into World Juniors?
I think again, like Latvia is going to be so fun. I mean, they're going to bring the fans. Obviously, they always do. But again, guys like Albert Smith. It'll be interesting to see another 2026 prospect they'll have there who had a rough start. He's coming off a concussion, but it's the guy that's got like first round talent, probably more of a mid to late second guy, especially if the production doesn't really pick up much more. But Oliver Munirks, however you fucking say it, he'll be playing a lot of minutes in that forward group. He's a fun, really skilled player. He's gonna be another guy to watch. Actually, should have brought that. I meant to bring up their roster. I thought I did, but now it's not here. That'll be another fun team to watch again. Like they're going to be up against it, but realistically, they just have to beat Denmark, and then they'll avoid relegation. But we'll see if they can pull off another upset somewhere along the way. They've got a bunch of really fun players.
Nice. We got a couple random questions that I'll just sprinkle in because why not? First one is from Hoptics. You think a package of Height, Lambos, Hunt, and Ryder Ritchie and a first could get us a decent 1C?
That'll probably get you a 1C.
I don't know if I agree with okay. Here's the bar. Ignore Yarmo. Pretend he doesn't exist. Is that enough to get Tage Thompson? I think no.
Probably not, because none of those guys are helping you right now.
And I don't think any of them have the outlook of that. But I mean, I think that's more than enough to get Shen, to get O'Reilly, to get the guys that are not what I would refer to as a bona fide 1C, but guys that absolutely could slot in as being your 1C.
You probably don't want to give all that up.
No, I said that's more than enough, to be clear. Yeah, that'd be a lot. Now,
it's interesting now, just like looking at, like, obviously you lose the 3 most appealing players, prospects or young players that you have in that Hughes trade.
No, that's not true.
Not all of them. Like, as far as if you're running out, again, this is the same conversation at the start, just about like what else they have if they want to like make another big move. It'll be interesting to see like what assets they're willing to like combine and come up with, but it's interesting now looking at the long-term outlook for some of the young pool.
It is interesting, that's for sure. Next one from Elliot. What are Z's thoughts on Klepkov?
Oh yeah, he's legit playing in Saginaw right now. Was really fucking good at the Hlinka, and he has started off. I mean, not even started off. I guess like pretty much halfway through the year now in the O. He's really fucking good. He probably, I mean, I would be right now. He's probably a top 15 player. He's got a ton of skill.
Smart Scouting has him ranked 15.
Oh, did we? Cool. Nailed it.
And that's way higher than anyone else, to be clear.
Yeah, I mean, he is probably someone that was not even close to being in that region, like coming into the year. But he, again, had a really good Hlinka, and he's been really fucking good in the O this year. So if he just continues up the production, I'm sure he'll be a top 15, top 20 guy. It's a weird class for forwards. Like, again, this is the year of the defenseman. Like, there's going to be a lot of defensemen that go early. It's a big drop off.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Nikhil Klepkov, he's a really fucking good player. He's really fun. He's a prick to play against too. He's one of those.
Fair. Last one, and this is one that's conflicting for me, and I want you to lead for obvious reasons because I'm somewhat biased, but we have diehard Red Wings fan. You think Red Wings are a good team to make playoffs?
Yeah, I meant to earlier. I was going to tell you we might have to install a new segment here called "Spogsy is a fucking moron and should shut up and probably shouldn't have a hockey podcast." Yeah, no, they're
that segment every week.
Yeah, it's pretty much whenever I start talking. Yeah, I mean, what Mo Sider's doing right now, like he's putting up a Norris level season. Dylan Larkin has been insane. Edvinson's taken another big step. Like, yeah, I think they're, but especially looking at the Atlantic, they're a playoff team.
Eisman didn't sack up.
Yeah. So that'll be the downfall. Larkin's going to talk more shit at the deadline.
They are looking better than I had anticipated for sure. I'm still not prepared to say that they are a lock to make the playoffs. I do not trust them. Their first pairing, sick, above all measures, awesome pairing. Their blue line as a whole still very, very questionable. Yeah, this is very fun too. And Emmett Finney been getting goals too. I didn't know who he was until this season.
Yeah, he literally was just like an okay prospect coming in. Started off ridiculously hot, got really cold, but now he's playing well again. Like he's just getting it done. I don't know. He's working. What's he got? Like 18 points now, 15. I think it's like 18, 30 something games.
Good for him.
Sending Pelicans. I think he's just like they're like don't worry about offense. Just go Purdue. I think he's got like
this is his job.
Yeah. So he's getting done there. They're getting like good minutes from like Ben Sherratt, which is always shocking to me. If they can get more from, if they can just keep riding with Marco Casper and hopefully just he figures it out, that's going to be another guy that could be a big piece for them moving. Or he is going to be a big piece for them moving.
They're counting
on him,
but
like this year, if he can figure it out, like he's be a big part of their lineup.
I'm not saying they won't make it. I'm just saying I'm not firmly convinced that they will.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just look at I think they're better than the Bruins. I don't really know what's going to happen with Florida and Ottawa. Ottawa's getting hot now. My God, Tim Stützle is he's so fucking good.
Better or worse than Jake Sanderson? Better or worse than Jake Sanderson?
Well, it doesn't make sense. There's two different positions, but they're two elite players.
Right. I'm asking you which ones. What do you mean?
I mean, yeah. Okay. Right.
Doesn't make sense.
Right now he's better.
Okay.
Do you think the Penguins are going to flip Kulak again?
Probably. I also hope they flip several more pieces because they're not good.
When I saw that fucking trade, I was like,
we haven't talked about it yet. We haven't talked about it.
Dubas has done it again. I was like, how the fuck did they get away with all that?
That was, but at this point, are you taking advantage of a special needs kid with Stan Bowman?
Oh boy.
He is not a good GM. He is a moron. He fell face first into his cups.
It is crazy to me that the whole Jari contract. Stu Skinner just needs to not be there, clearly. And then
I think Skinner is a better goalie.
He's he'll be fine. Specifically just the contract with Jari. I was like, you just got rid of it? Oh, what? All of it? The whole thing? Okay. And I mean, you upgraded net.
I've always been a Stuart Skinner fan. His Jekyll and Hyde is aggressive, but Jerry, look at that. He's already hurt. The whole question with him is health. That is his ceiling higher than Skinner's? Sure. But it's going to take a lot of health and a lot of things going right for him to achieve that ceiling. It's crazy. The Quinn Hughes trade was selfish by Bill Guerin. It overshadowed a great move by the Pittsburgh Penguins, one that hasn't happened in a long time. But I'm not mad.
It is insane. I looked at my phone for 20 minutes. I was like, that's not. That can't
I was
be.
very confused.
But whatever.
And that's their move. That's how they're gonna go about it. Crazy.
Hopefully then Kulak come in, boost the stock a little bit more. Obviously, it was a really fucking terrible start for him in Edmonton this year. If they can put a couple of nice games together, and then you're just gonna upgrade that draft pick.
Be relatively nice, but not deceitful. Emperor King coming in. It's annoying. LA can't win at home. I hate this coach for LA Kings.
Yes.
We talked about it on the front of the show. They are fraudulent. They are not good. Talk them off the ledge.
I mean, I can't. They're so unwatchable right now. And I mean, like, I feel like the forward lines don't really make a whole lot of sense right now. The fact that like this, like the Phil Deneau situation went the way that it did, obviously his production has just been dog shit, but like he's going to be able to go to Montreal and like, even if he's not putting up points, he's going to be able to contribute. Like he's still like a positive, like be a net positive for you. Like Byfield hasn't taken another step this year. The defense is a shit show. And I mean, the goaltending is what it is. And I don't really know, like what is this fucking hockey team? Like it's just gotten significantly worse the last like couple of weeks here too. It's just like they are at the bottom of the watchability rankings, dude.
Yeah. I just, yeah, there's so many things about their roster that bother me. There's individual players that I very much like, but the roster construction is not something I can support.
Yeah.
It's tough. Z, I don't know. Is that the end? Do we want to talk about any Minnesota prospects, or are we just calling or shut down?
I mean, the only one that could probably for 30 seconds, just like Carter Klippenstein's been really good. He had 4 games in a row where he was either the first, second, or third star. He's putting up points. He's right around a point per game now, but I think he had like a 5 or 6 game point streak. He's looked really good in Brandon. Again, very understated, but like just smart game and super fucking physical. Very much projects as like a bottom 6 NHL guy. So at least he was worth mentioning, just given the fact that he went on a run of 4 or 5 games there. He's putting up points and like one of the best players on the ice. So good for him. Other than that, obviously the college guys are all not playing right now. And then it's just let's see what Kiviharju does at the World Juniors. See what Benak does at the World Juniors. And poor Theo Hallquist. That fucking offense too that he's on. Woof.
I appreciate the way you said that.
Woof. This fucking Troya Lundby team. Wow. It is. Oh my god. He's playing like 22 minutes a night. I feel like he's like, yeah, bring me down to 11 minutes. This is insane. They are not good. They don't score. They give up a ton of fucking goals, and it's bad. They are not on track to be promoted to the SHL. Firmly last place.
Tough.
So it's next year. In a different
Tough go.
Yeah, that's about it. My voice basically.
Your voice got a little bit better as we went. So that's good.
I had several cough drops.
Oh, I got to shout out. I got to find out what the actual name is now. I think, yeah. Okay. I am not your friend anymore. If you're someone that's seen this show and hasn't recommended it to me, I'm only 2 episodes in, but with 2 kids under 2, you have to find shows to binge when you're kept up late hours. And have you heard of Mythic Quest, Z?
Mm-mm.
2 episodes in, as I said. It is a show about like a video game producing company. And there's already 3 people from Sunny that I've spotted. The main person being Rob Mack. Like he's the guy that owns the company, basically. But the like cuck manager is Rickety Cricket. And 2 episodes in, it looks magnificent. I'm so excited. I think this is going to be such a good show. So if you are out there and you've watched the show and you haven't recommended it to me, we aren't friends anymore. I'm mad at you. It's rude. Because I think it's a great show. And apparently there's already 4 seasons out. So I got a lot of watching ahead of me. But holy shit, Rotten Tomatoes, 96%. Didn't even know that.
It's on me for not even knowing about it.
Mythic Quest. I am so in. The guy who is like the marketplace manager, like, you know, you can like sell I don't know how to explain this because I'm not a gamer, but like you can have like skins and weapons and stuff that you just like sell secondary market. Did you ever watch Community? Oh, well, that's a big miss on your part. For those that have, Abed is the guy that plays that character, and it's awesome. So, all around, great show. People should watch it. That's all I got. I feel like Z just wants to end it.
I was just reading some of the.
Oh, we got more comments. I gotta check quick. Is there anything noteworthy? Thank you. Pasta for Terra saying go straight up. Who says no? We already talked about this one, Eric. I am a very big supporter. Probably unlikely. That Jarvis injury was ugly. I don't like talking about ugly injuries.
If they had the old goalposts, that would have been like
dead.
I can't believe that Brindamore didn't end up with a $25,000 fine for not going insane. It was like a clear and obvious trip. Like, and he went flying. That looked so fucking bad. Ugh.
Not awesome.
That sucked. That game was nuts, though.
That's all that matters.
Oh, yeah, that was a brutal. And now I guess Slavin's week to week, too.
But it won't impact his Olympic availability, please, for the love of God. Now, there's a real question. If you're Bulgarian, do you go to Mike Sullivan and say you will play Faber and Hughes together? Or do you go back to the Faber-Slavin black hole?
I mean, that's a pretty ideal problem.
There are worse problems to have.
That's for sure. I would imagine they go back to the Faber-Slavin thing, but I mean, it would also just wouldn't surprise you if they're like, well, these guys are already playing together, might as well give it like, let them just keep going. But I wonder how much. I don't know how much Billy G even. He allegedly, someone's like, "What's
he would never matter. He would never weigh in on roster decisions."
No, that's yeah. No, they asked fucking day of. They were like, "Is he gonna be playing with Faber?" And he's like, "I don't make those decisions. That's for John." And I was like, "You've never meddled. You've never. You're right. You never have."
Just like Steve Eisman had nothing to do with Martin St. Louis not being part of the Olympic roster. Oops.
Yeah. And just for Jimmy here, do the Bruins rebuild? I don't know if they're in a position where they can do like a full-on rebuild. They've got a bunch of contracts on the books already. Plus, they've got guys like Hagen's coming. I don't know. They should sell, but like I don't know if it's gonna be like a full-on rebuild when you've got Pasta signed long-term, Swayman signed long-term, McAvoy signed long-term as like the building pieces or whatever, plus the other contracts you have, but. They're in a spot where they're not going to have to do like a full-on rebuild, but like I think they should be selling at the deadline because I don't think they make the playoffs. I mean, Korpisalo just can't. His next question was, "What do the Bruins have to do to get better, make the playoffs?" Like, right, Korpisalo is a problem right now. That's a big problem, and it's fascinating to me that at the start of the year
we traded for him.
Well, yeah, that's never been up for but like. Again, it's just they're a fascinating team, and that like we come into the year, they're gonna if they're gonna win games, they're gonna have to win them like 2-1, 1-0. Like every game, both teams are scoring like fucking 6 goals, and it's just like nonstop high event hockey. But I don't know, they're just bleeding goals now. So either way, I think they're still defensively not good enough. They've got a couple issues back there, and they have to get healthy. They're also now another team that just like everyone they've already used like 12 defensemen. It's insane. But yeah, if they can get if they get a couple calls and someone's willing to like send over some like decent packages for guys like Zaka, Middlestat, and Arvidsson, like I think if you miss the playoffs and you finish, even if you make the playoffs, honestly, and you finish the year as good as he was before he got hurt, if Arvidsson is on this team after the deadline, that's probably a big mistake.
I think this is a good one to end on here from Cole. Favorite other guy's quote. Just some good ones.
It's just like that's another movie where it's just banger after banger after the. I mean,
see, I think the movie as a whole isn't as great as people build it up to be, but there's so many great one-liners.
Yeah.
Aim for the Bushes, America, My First Desk Pop. But for me, it's not even a quote. For me, it's a scene. A lot of people would actually go to with a peacock. You gotta let me fly. No, for me, it is Christineth.
You idiot!
That whole scene is incredible. And
you probably
guy
think
who plays the like cuck husband, he talks about it on like radio shows, like how ridiculous that whole shoot was. It was all off the cuff. It was all like unscripted, and he's like, "Oh my god, it was insane." I don't know what to do.
You probably think because of the beard that I'm really hairy. I'm not. Shaven. Alan? I also really enjoy when the captain's working at Bed Bath & Beyond. He starts giving the wrong like start to the meeting. And it's just like there's a serial on the street. Oh wait, sorry, wrong one. Well, I guess not. No, I don't play if you live over there.
Dirty Mike and the boys.
That I actually might take the cake now I think about it.
Thanks for the F Shack. Oh, god damn it.
What a movie.
Or just Mark Wahlberg's fascination with the fact that he's married to her.
Oh, it's so good.
There's no quote. It's just like the look on his face, the actual reaction.
I like when he's also really good at ballet. And he's like, yeah, we all got good at this so we could beat up the nerds, make fun of the nerds.
Gator!
Yeah. The movie's
Gators,
ridiculous,
bitches.
but just line after line, just bangers. The fight at the wake, A+ stuff. Big fan of that one. But yeah, anyways. We're quoting the whole movie if we can get out of here.
But you didn't even pick one. What's your favorite?
Oh, I know. Oh, I know which one it is now. He's just like, what happened? I thought you said bad cop, bad cop. No, it's never been a thing.